Do you deserve love? Well, of course you do. Everybody deserves love. But let's put that another way. Do you deserve the love of a woman? Well, that's the question that a lot of intelligent people are now spouting off in the light of what's going on. And I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm Canadian. And I mean, I'm still in solidarity and I feel for you ladies. I really, really do. And I'm going to tell you right now, you absolutely 100% deserve to have a man by your side who sees you, who loves you, who would do anything to protect you, and would not say 98% of the dumb things that are being said in the comment sections of women's empowerment videos, in the comment section of the videos of men that we actually follow, that we actually enjoy learning from. You know, the ones that are out there and actually respect us, actually support us, actually see us as people. You know they're out there. I mean, there's some really entertaining guys out there on their platforms, and I'm following them, and I'm just loving everything that they're putting out there. Some of them are funny, some of them are charming, and they're like, they just want a lady to spend a life with. And at the same time, like, they are a catch, okay? Like, let's be honest. Not every single guy out there is a dog. I mean, there's a lot of them that are showing their colors, and it's deafening. It is absolutely deafening. I'm not going to pretend that it is not deafening. And I'm not going to pretend that when you're in a certain mindset that those ones seem to just, it's so much that you're like, all I see is a pool of frogs. And I'd rather take my chances in the pit of alligators than try to kiss one of these frogs in this pond and hope it's a prince that will protect me. I'll just jump into the pond of alligators. Or, you know, choose the bear. I mean, Belle technically really did choose the bear and turned out he was a prince. But, like, that's where we're at, right? I mean, we're pissed. There's so many women right now that are pissed. And, you know, the funny thing is that there's actually two camps. Now, as a reflector, I like to kind of sample the energy of different areas. And sometimes I will go into those places where they're talking about the toxicity, but I don't actively engage in the toxic area, if that makes sense. I mean, stitches are great for that. Like, I love these stitches that these intelligent guys are putting out, and it's like calling out the BS, the toxic BS. And, you know, I see that, and I see, it's like, you know what, we really need to be propping those guys up, because they're getting torn apart, they're getting torn to shreds by these fake alpha males, and they don't always see their worth. I mean, go check out some of my other videos where it's like, there are so many intelligent, like, sweet men in my life that just do not see what a catch they are. And, I mean, it's just, it's sad that they think that their worth is only in what they can bring to the table in their youth, or what they can bring to the table in their muscle, or what they can bring to the table in just, like, material wealth. And they go and they're like, well, what else do I have to offer? Hello, how about the fact that you're a really cool human being and we have great conversations and I like learning from you, and like, I could sit there and just listen to you talk. How about that? How about the fact that we have fun together? Like seriously, there's so much value. And even outside of a romantic attraction, I mean, I can really appreciate that, like, there are some guys that they really do deserve to have a partner. Of all ages. There's guys of all ages in my network, my friend circle, that I'm like, you deserve to have the most like extraordinary, amazing partner who will annoy you for the rest of your life, but you'll love it. You'll love every minute of it. Because, you know, love isn't just hearts and flowers. It's also, who do you want to get goofy with? Who do you want to kind of bug and have them go, okay, you're really annoying me, but I love you, and damn it, like, you just made me smile. Like, that. Like, I want somebody that I can play with. I don't want to just grow old. I mean, growing older, yes, but not grow old. I want to have somebody who keeps me forever young. And, you know, in light of what's happened, I mean, yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. There's a lot of things that are coming down. It's like, but when the dust settles, there's an opportunity here. And I mean, there's a lot of women who've seen it, and we're getting torn down for it, because it's like, you know what? We're just going to do celibacy. We're not going to engage with any men. Well, you know, I'd kind of say it's not swear off men. It's stop letting the other ones that don't deserve to be chosen as mates, let them be lonely until they step up. Because, beautiful, fabulous soul, if you are the kind of person who is looking at what you can give instead of just what you can get from someone, if you truly are genuine and you want to connect with another human being, and you're not just looking at it as like checking a box, hot person, on my arm candy, and, you know, will serve all my needs, but really looking for that partnership, then yeah, you absolutely deserve to have that. And you deserve to hold out for the best. You don't have to settle. Nobody should have to settle. And, you know, for a long time we were told that our worth is connected to whether or not we can find a partner. But that's not true. And with the fact that a lot of rights have been kind of pulled back, yeah, there are going to be a lot of intelligent men who are going to find themselves really lonely. Because the kinds of things that they say of what they bring to the table, the intelligent women are like, we're just looking at it, it's like, buddy, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. So how do you get chosen? Well, if you go into Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest and the strongest, we want someone whose genetic material is going to actually enhance our offspring and our generations to come, our legacy. So a lot of men would fake their prowess. They would fake their ability to protect. They would fake their ability to provide. And because we had been in a society where we were taught that we had to get somebody good on paper, we didn't look below the surface. And people can keep up that game for about 6 months. And if they are really, really good at the love bomb, well, then even the most intelligent person can get trapped. Because when oxytocin is introduced, that is a love hormone. That is a bonding hormone. And you get locked in. So a lot of people are like, I'm dating to marry. But if you're dating to marry, you're also kind of being like, I'm going to commit to this relationship because it looks good on paper. But now you're emotionally invested, and it's harder to get out of that. And I mean, dating just for fun also has its downsides, because you can again get tricked. So part of the new movement that, I mean, bravo ladies, yes, you're on the right track, is we're just not going to date. And yeah, you know what? You don't have to date. You know what you can do instead? Be friends with men. Like, just see which men in your life are attractive, smart, funny, intelligent, the kind of guy that you would probably go for if you were looking for a relationship, but you're not. You're not looking for a relationship. In fact, you're just shopping. Okay? You're shopping. You're window shopping. You're not sampling anything. You're not going into the store. You're not going to buy anything. You're not going to try anything out and then return it to the store. No, you're in this space and you're like, I'm going to see what's out there. I'm going to check out the merchandise. And then I'm going to see, also, I'm going to be the merchandise. So it's a two-way street here. You're the merchandise, you've got a store, you're selling something, and you're also out there in the world sampling others. Okay? But you are not going into the store to buy anything. So, yeah, the thing that a lot of these incels want is not a partner, right? You know that's not what they want. I mean, all day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse and a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger, 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dream. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor. Like, that's it, right? Like, it costs us. And, you know, it costs men too. On their side. I mean, I've got intelligent men. So, I'm like, you know what? You got screwed over. You bought into the idea that you just had to get any pretty girl. And she latched onto you and she drained you dry. And that's not fair either. I mean, even my ex gets screwed over sometimes. And he's growing. So I don't really want him to get screwed over. Plus, it's not really a good message for my kids to see their dad constantly getting jerked around by women. So, you know, no. But if you're going to be chosen, you've got to be worth being chosen. And just being a man or just being a woman is like, no. No. You don't get to be chosen from that. You don't get to get chosen just because you're pretty. You don't get to get chosen just because you make a lot of money. You don't get to be chosen just because, well, we all need to make babies. You don't get to be chosen just because, well, we need protection. No. No. You get chosen because you have something to bring to the table. You get chosen because you actually have become the kind of person who deserves all of the attention. And you deserve to be chosen. And here's the secret. Men display, women choose. Nature. Now, I mean, some men display, women choose, and then they eat their mates afterwards. And you know, that's actually, there's more to it than that. It's, the male's gonna die anyway, apparently. Like, they mate and then they die. And, like, the food is the sustenance for the babies. So the male is still basically providing the sustenance for the babies to survive. But, I mean, you have to understand that women do the selecting. We're the ones that have the egg. We're the ones that decide whether we want to have children. And before I was like, you know, I really want to have kids, and this man seems to love me and support me, and I guess that's it. And how many relationships start like that? It's like, you know, I'm getting older, I need to get married, I need to have kids, so I'm gonna pick somebody, and maybe it's not everything, but, you know, I'm getting older, clock's ticking. Versus when you see that person and you're like, that one, I want to have babies with that one. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. I mean, we sometimes say it too. Like, we see a man who's like, oh my gosh, he's saying everything I want. It's like ovaries activated, right? So what if you could find somebody who had all of the qualities that you were looking for, and you recognize that you actually deserve that, and you blocked out, I mean, we're already kind of blocking it out because, you know, they're just whining at this point because they don't realize that it's like, oh, it's over for you ladies now. We've got what we want. It's like, haha, no, dummy. No, you don't. No, you think you do. But now we're really pissed. No sex for you. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to go get it. It just means it's not you. And, you know, we've got other options. A woman can stay celibate for years. Especially when she's set her sights on something and it's like, you know what? Why would I settle? Why would I go for a downgrade when I have already been down that road? I already know what that road looks like. And now, you know, that road just doesn't appeal to me. So I'm just going to live my life. And the right man who I've chosen has to, like, they deserve me. Or at least I deserve them. I deserve them, and they now need to step up to show that they can hang. So this then goes into one of my favorite fairy tales. Well, it's a movie. It's a fairy tale and it's a movie. You know I love Cinderella. And Ever After with Drew Barrymore is like, I love that movie. Like, Drew really did such a good job with that one, Cinderella. And I really loved it. It was such a good version of Cinderella. Because instead of a fairy godmother, they had Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, I know. It's like, if you haven't seen Ever After, like, it's worth going and checking it out. Like, it was like one of the best 90s films for Cinderella, and like, just, it was just great. I just loved it. And then basically what happens is that at some point, Danielle, they call her, she's like, I can't marry the future king. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm just nobody. And he'd be better off with a princess. He's got to marry a princess. And I'm not going to the ball. And then Da Vinci is like trying to get her ready. And she's like, a bird may love a fish, senor, but where would they live? And he's like, well, I guess I'll make you wings. And then she shows up in this beautiful costume. But then the stepmother pulls the wings off and she exposes her. And of course, Henry's all like embarrassed. And like, he's just like, you lied to me, and you pretended to be somebody you weren't, and I'm mad. And he basically is like, no, I'm not going after her. And Da Vinci's like, are you an idiot? Like, seriously, are you an idiot? And it's like, well, what do you know? You do flying machines, and like, you're not a prince. You don't have the responsibilities that I have. And he's like, I know that a life without love is no life at all. And then, like, they get into this whole thing, and, like, Henry's just like, no, I'm not going after her. And it's like, well, then I guess you don't deserve her. And he puts the slipper, the shoe, on the ledge. And he's like, I guess you don't deserve her then. If you're really not going to fight for your true love, you don't deserve them. If you're really not going to go all in on your true love, you don't deserve them. You don't deserve it. Because if you're not going to fight for what you believe in, you don't deserve it. And that's where these intelligent arguments, I just keep shaking my head. Because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve access to us. They don't deserve it. They're entitled little boys. They don't deserve it. So, I mean, they can rant and rail all they want. But the fact is we're just going to get even more selective. And we're going to get even better at pulling the masks off. Because for a long time, they were able to fake it. Ladies, I know how to pull masks off of narcissistic and intelligent people very quickly. I mean, if you would be open to learning from me, I might just do that. I might just teach you some of my tricks. I mean, I went through the school of pulling off the mask. My partner, well, ex-partner, but at the time, the one that fathered my 2 children, he was good. He was able to believe his own crap. That's how, and that's the thing, is a lot of them believe their own crap. And if you don't know how to pull the mask off, because you're still in the pick-me energy, or you're kind of wounded, or you're thinking, well, there's a lot of men that are dogs out there, and this one at least treats me well. Well, I have news for you. That's exactly how my ex got me. I had gone out on a whole bunch of dates with a whole bunch of dogs, slimy men, and then here comes Prince Charming, and he sweeps me off my feet, and he love bombs me, and he acts like he's really interested. And the reality is that he did that to every woman because he knew that he had the ability to bank on the fact that he was a good guy. But when he opened his mouth, patriarchy came out. And he was only able to pretend to be a feminist for a little while, but he would keep saying stupid things. And I squinted. I will completely own that I squinted. When he said things like women are irrational, I squinted. I pretended it's like, no, you don't mean that. You're just teasing. You don't actually mean that. Because, if you meant that, then that would mean that you didn't really respect me, and you didn't respect my opinion, and that you were lying to me, and yeah. The longer you get invested in a man and you really get to know them, the more you can see their true colors. And someone who seems really arrogant on the outside, or like the kind of person that you're like, this one probably is so full of themselves, you find out actually they don't see their value. They don't see that they're a catch. They're actually quite adorable in how little they actually see of who they really are. And the ones that think that they're all that are usually the ones that have absolutely nothing to bring to the table. The ones that have that humble ability to recognize that, I've got some work to do. And I'm going to keep putting in the work every day because I've made mistakes. Those are your guys. So, back to the whole thing with Ever After, is that Danielle ended up getting sold to this really skeezy, gross guy. Thanks, wicked stepmother. She's such an evil person. But she rescued herself. She actually rescues herself, and she gets out of the tower and everything, and she's like, I've got my freedom. I can go anywhere I want. And Henry shows up, and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Please, please, please. I will do anything to get your forgiveness. Because you don't need to get my forgiveness. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have let you go. And then he makes her his queen and all that. But, the guy really has to realize what he's done. And this is also how I was able to leave my ex, is that he would pretend that he was sorry. I mean, they're really good at crocodile tears. Come on, they're really good at it. But do they really deserve a second chance? Well, again, once you know how to pull the mask off, it's very easy to see if they actually deserve a second chance or if they are just trying to worm their way back in. And we can't afford to give second chances willy-nilly anymore. We can't afford to just give any guy a chance. We got to be really discerning now, right? Got to be really, really discerning and be able to pull off those masks. And you know, all those dude bros are going to little courses and they're learning the pickup lines and they're learning the pickup ways to fake it. So authenticity is going to be really important, right? You don't deserve to be chosen if you're faking it. You don't deserve to be chosen if your intentions are not pure. If you're not actually standing for the highest version of the person that you are choosing, you're fooling yourself. But if you could love them, even if you were at a distance, if you could stay loyal to them, even without a commitment, if you could see yourself as like their highest cheerleader, always rooting for them, well then, yeah, chances are high that it's real. Very high. If, however, them disappointing you or not coming through for you has you wanting to just completely write them off as a jerk, probably don't deserve them. If they did something wrong and like you could not find it in your heart to forgive them at all, well, it's probably not a good fit, or they don't deserve you. More likely, if they've done something that you absolutely cannot forgive because it hurts you so much and they do not care because they just want you back in their lives, yeah, they don't deserve you. I mean, if you wouldn't treat your best friend that way, don't treat a partner that way. If you wouldn't treat yourself that way, don't treat somebody else that way. I mean, if you're going to beat yourself up, though, and treat yourself like crap, nobody can make you love yourself. You gotta love yourself. So, I mean, ladies, I'm just gonna tell you. Yes, we may have to go it alone. You know what happens when you go it alone? Tap into your power. You know what really happens when you go it alone? You see just how capable you are. You also see how desirable you are. Because, you know, people want what they can't have. Right? If it's too easy to get, they start to devalue it. And you know, for a very long time, men thought that they could just get any woman. Oh, this one's not working, I'll put her in asylum and then I will remarry. Oh, this one died in childbirth, okay, I'll just get another one, I'll get another wife. I mean, it's right there in history. So yeah, it might look like things are going backwards, but we've had a taste of freedom now for decades, generations of freedom. Do you think we're going back in that box? No, we're not going back in that box. So yes, ladies, stay celibate. Absolutely, stay celibate. And you know, the ones that decide that they're just going to be baby machines, yeah, they'll eventually be so dissatisfied and they'll have a quiet resistance of their own. Because there's a lot of women that fell for that trap. And then they regret it. And they get the courage to leave. And even if certain rights got taken away, if you look into history, you can see there was always a way out. We've always found it. We aren't as powerless as people would have us believe. Just so you know. There was always a way. When one cares to take her power back, there is always a way. And the sisterhood needs to stick together. And we need to also be looking for those men who can be our allies. Because they're out there too. I got several brothers. They're awesome. So when certain intelligent arguments come out and it's like, oh, well, who's going to move furniture? I got a son. All I have to do is try to move furniture myself, and my son will take one look at me struggling and he'll be like, no, Mom, let me do it. I've got brothers, both adopted brothers that I've brought into my world, and I've got stepbrothers. When I needed to move out of my ex's place, my brothers came to my rescue. They moved my stuff. They got the boxes. My brothers will protect me. If I needed protection right now, I could call up one of my stepbrothers. I could say, hey, I need some protection here. And he would be like, tell me where he is and I'll kick the crap out of him. My brothers are like 6 feet tall too. They're tall brothers. They're tough brothers. One's in construction. Has a construction company too. And I got protection. And I've got my adopted dads. If I need some dad advice, I've got that. I've got adopted grandpas. And you know what? I've been in a store attempting to get something off a high shelf, looking all cute and pretty. And some random guy will come along and bring it down for me. And I just smile and I say thank you. Because the right guys, they love the compliments. They love the compliments. It makes them feel good to be useful. The ones that you want around you are the ones that just want to be useful. That aren't looking to get anything from you. There are men out there that just love to serve women. And they just love it. They love to serve women. They love to be around our energy. And they don't expect anything from us. So, we'll be okay. But there is going to be a lot of really lonely, intelligent people out there. I'm not going to lie. They've shot themselves in the foot by speaking the way they do and acting the way they do and trying to justify their stance the way they have, because they are really shooting themselves in the foot. And the Scorpio in me is finding this very, very amusing. Especially since I know what a real man looks like. Those intelligent arguments, that's not a real man. I'm always out on the lookout for more examples of real men. Just, because it's nice. It's nice to see that men are evolving. We want more of those. And the incentive to evolving, if they want to pass on their genetics, they gotta be worth it. Otherwise, they get nothing. Not even their own mommy will want them. yeah, usually the mother gets fed up too. But either way, let's not think of this as a loss. I mean, it sucks, yes. But let's look at it as an opportunity to really show what women can do and show who does the picking. Because you know what? We'll get chosen because we're choosing ourselves. And then as we've chosen ourselves and see our full power, the right person will step in. We'll just attract them. No more chasing, no more looking, no more waiting to be picked. We're going to attract. And we're going to repel. And the ones that we repel, we don't want them anyway. Trust me, you don't want them. I've seen enough of them. I know where that leads. It leads to them getting to a certain point in life where they can't get anything anymore unless they grow up and change. They'll get tired of their own crap, but we no longer have to put up with it. And in the meantime, there are always loopholes. There are always ways around restrictions. Believe me, I can read between the lines. It's a superpower of mine, and I've really honed it since I stepped into my power a few years back. I know the path. So again, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll do a class on that. If you're interested, you can always reach out to me and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you about maybe getting some lessons in this area. I mean, there's so many things that I have knowledge around. So many superpowers that I know how to unleash in people. Help women tap into them, help men tap into theirs. Insights. I'm really good at lovingly kicking butts too. Just ask some of my closest friends. Some of my most ambitious, highly intelligent friends. Highly successful. And I can lovingly kick their ass. And be like, hey, I see something that could make you even more magnificent. That could give you more insight. That could even add more revenue. Or add to your value stack that you already have. Or get you in front of people. I have ways. And I don't know how long I'm here. So I'm just going to share that. Maybe that's part of my purpose, is that I've always wanted to see a certain institutional, cultural, structural thing that starts with a P get burned to the ground. I mean, that's been something that I've had that desire for a very long time. And that doesn't mean getting rid of men. It means getting rid of a structure that allows for us to not be able to be our full selves and keep us in the same cycle that it's all crumbling. It may not look like it, but it's all crumbling. You'll be okay. If you need the map, I have it. You're always welcome to reach out. You're always welcome to just send me a message. because part of my love language is bug me. And part of being chosen to get into my circle, of course, is you have to deserve to be in my circle. I don't really just pick just anyone in my circle. I'm a Scorpio. I keep my circle quite small. And I keep my secrets mostly to myself. And I only share what I feel needs to be shared. But it's up to you if you want to go deeper into your own psyche, into the psyche of others, into your own magic, and, for the right people, going deeper with me. So, you see, I know I'm deserving. I know my heart's always in the right place for the right people. I know that what I have to offer someone, my dear brother, he even said it, your love is no small thing. And people are always saying, like, there's nothing like being in your energy. And I'm like, yeah. Why? Because I'm me. 100% me. And people that don't like it, usually it's because there's something in them that they haven't addressed yet. Because I'm coming from a place of love. My scorpion stinger is more just watching somebody else shoot themselves in the foot. I don't actually wish any ill will on those with intelligent arguments. I just really like to see them get to a point where they finally get tired of their own crap and grow up. That's what I want. And sometimes that just requires them to shoot themselves in the foot so many times that it's just laughable how deep they dig themselves into that hole. And I'll be standing there and I'm like, you're digging that hole. You could climb out of it. No? Okay, fine. Continue to say that it's everybody else's fault that you're digging the hole. Go ahead. Everybody else is up here and we're just looking at you. It's like, dude, you are digging your own hole and swearing at us. Like, you are literally hurling insults at us in the comments. And you are digging your own hole. But thank you, because now we know you're digging a hole, you're not building. So, we'll watch. But see that person over there? The fellow with the hella good hair? Yeah. You want to come over here and we can shake, because this one over here is like, my ex-man got his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my God, but I'm just going to shake it because she's going to find out eventually. It's the same thing. It's like, you stole my problem, not my man. Thank you. Right? Yeah. So, if she's ever out there watching, she did me a favor. She really did me a favor. I was able to see my ex the way that I needed to actually see him. To see just how deep he would dig that hole. And now he's digging himself out, which is good. But I was able to see it's like, it wasn't right. He never really deserved me. He didn't value me. He didn't deserve me. So, single moms out there, your ex didn't deserve you. Not you didn't deserve your ex. No, your ex didn't deserve you. You're probably awesome. And maybe even if you had some issues, guess what? It's probably because the right man, even if it's not in a romantic sense, the right man in your life is there to build you up, not tear you down. So if you're feeling drained of life, and there's a man in the picture, and you're feeling drained and exhausted of life, and you're feeling snappish and angry and not feeling safe and not feeling supported, it's not a you problem. It's not the right fit. They don't deserve you. Rise up, sisters. Take your power back. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve access to you in any sense of the word. And, guys who don't get appreciated for all the love that you actually give out, the genuine, sincere love of trying to make it work, and they just don't appreciate you. You're just with the wrong girl. The right one will see it and be like, oh my gosh, you are the sweetest. So don't give up. But play it smart. Know your worth. Go check out some of my other videos on how to do that if you still don't know how to reclaim your worth. I mean, I used to have really low self-esteem. I used to think that I wasn't good enough because a guy wouldn't pick me. Now I get all the messages all the time, and I'm like, I could get on the dating apps. I could download them again. I could put out a profile. And I guarantee I'm probably going to get so many messages. Because I know how to sell myself into that. It's like, I know what I bring to the table. But I don't want to. Because I'm like, that'd be a downgrade. And I'm really not into a downgrade. Yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody beside me, but if it's not them, then I'm not interested. If it's not the one, I'm not interested. If it's not the most extraordinary man I've ever met, I'm not interested. Because I don't want to just have a baby with just anybody. I don't want to just build a life and share a life with just anybody. My life is pretty awesome. I'll just keep building on my own. Keep dancing on my own. Because I'm good company. I know what I offer. And once you get to that place where you know what you offer, it doesn't matter who comes into your life. It doesn't matter what anybody says in the comments. I got told about the cats. Oh, go get a cat. It's like, my cat's awesome. I love my cat. I'd get a second cat if I wanted to, but cats are a lot of work too. I got kids. I got friends. And I mean, at any time I can soapbox, and I can go out online, and I can meet new people, and I can add to my network. I'm not lacking in connection. I just want my partner. But I will wait. As long as it takes, I will wait. Because I know what happens when you settle. And we can't afford to settle anymore. And if you are in a situation where you realize you have settled, might be a good idea to get out now. Start making your exit plan now. Because the longer you stay, the more they can suck you in. The faster you get out, the faster you become the most vibrant, powerful version of yourself, and you're like, I can't believe I stayed this long. I really can't. I'm so much happier. There's that. How fast? How fast? After thinking that I wouldn't be able to, that if I didn't get chosen, that it would be over for me, And now it's like, no. And yeah, I had a little bit of a meltdown last week. I was a little bit sad. Of course, I miss him. Of course I'm going to be sad sometimes. I miss him. I miss talking to him. But if it's not time yet, then okay. I already know I'm the most extraordinary person. Like, I already know that. I know I'm a catch. People don't run away from you, they run away from themselves. People don't block you, they block themselves from access to you. And when people decide to tear you down because you won't give them something, well, they've just cut themselves off from your energy, your magical energy. They don't have it anymore. They showed their true colors. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that really regret tearing me down because I'm not there anymore. You'll never be alone, beautiful goddess. Never. As long as you keep your light and your power, you will never be alone. You will always find someone who wants access to that. And when you realize you get to do all the picking, well, maybe, just maybe, all the power is right here in our hands, and game on. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And it's Scorpio season. We're not done yet. Rise up. Anyway, now that the phoenix, the dark phoenix at that, has risen and spoken, I'm just going to invite you, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you would like to join me in my little silent rebellion and find out what else I'm cooking up, ladies. This is a ladies only invitation. Sorry, boys. There'll be something else for you later, but this one's just for the ladies. I'm on a mission to empower moms. And that doesn't mean just moms who currently have children. That means every woman who would ever plan to have a baby, now or in the future. Because the way forward, I mean, Darwin said it, survival of the fittest, right? You want to raise resilient, powerful children so that we can shift the tides. You're the pinnacle of evolution. I want to empower the moms to be able to empower future generations and impact. And I'm getting a lot of great results with my son right now. I mean, yeah, he's still got some issues. But, you know, my 11-year-old son is more mature than a lot of men that are 3 times his age. My 11-year-old son is the most incredible little boy. Well-rounded. My daughter, she takes crap from no one. She's the sweetest little thing, and she makes friends with everyone. And she also takes crap from no one. My children are leaders. In their school and with their friends, they are leaders. They inspire me. And I'd been doing this experiment for the last 11 years. I was like, I wonder if I could raise kids to be completely conscious. And I mean, I had a few tests because their father was opening his mouth and patriarchy was always coming out of it, but I did it. And I'm doing it for other women and their families. And they're stepping into their power. And I kind of like to see more of that in the world. So I'm on a mission, and I'm looking for powerful women to connect with who would also like to see that shift happen. The rise of the feminine. And you know what? I think that we're much stronger together. Don't you? So if you would like to tap into what I know, and I do know quite a lot, and I have gone down so many rabbit holes, and I've even been playing around with ChatGPT to play with it even more, well, there's your invitation. Just reach out. Send me a message. You DM me. Say, hey Carly, I would really like in on this. I'd like to know more about your diabolical plan. Because it is quite diabolical. And every woman I've shared it with has been like, oh my gosh, this is diabolical. And I've shared this with a few very, very close friends that are male. And been like, okay, I'm going to share a tiny, tiny tip of the iceberg of what I see. And I shared it for their side too, to show what the impact is. And they are all for it. It's really good, just so you know. Anyway, I'm going to go and record some videos for my business channel because that's part one of my diabolical plan. And then I'm going to meditate for a little while and just really immerse myself in my power. And I'm going to invite you to tap into your power and do what feels good to you and create value in the world. And if you're inspired by this, I don't mind if you go and take a video or a little bit of it and just stitch it. I don't mind. Just tag me. Because I do like credit. I don't like people just taking things without giving me credit. But, you know, if a piece of this worked for you, give me credit. Because I told you, I got a plan. It's going to take all of us sisters working together. And you know, some of us only have 2 months to really figure things out. And what affects one of us or a bunch of us affects all of us, right? It's time. You want to be able to choose. This is how we do it. Namaste. And I will talk to you soon. Bye now.